Have you ever quit a job without another lined up for your mental health? How did it turn out? Hell yes, I worked in a retail store that was farming based, but had the political atmosphere of Game of Thrones. Everyone hated each other and constantly tried to undermine one another. If you were talking to someone that someone else didn't like, it was known across the store, and suddenly people would stop talking to you. As in, you would stand there and ask a question, and they would turn their back on you. I got zero training, got promoted to zone manager, more work with no extra pay, and then injured my foot falling off of one of their rickety wooden ladders. This caused everyone to turn on me because the store had to file a workman's comp claim, so they missed out on the annual reward, a visit to the Golden Coral Buffet in January. Anyway, after about 2 weeks of mind-numbing boredom and having everyone staring daggers at me while I tried to figure out what the hell I was supposed to be doing, I just quit. Didn't give notice, just left my badge and vest there and went to lunch and never came back. It took me a few months to find another job, but at least I was no longer alternating between openly weeping and feeling physically nauseous. Quit my job at a call center without anything lined up. I used to cry in my car before a shift, used up all my sick days, and it worsened my suicidal thoughts, so I got myself out of there when I couldn't take it anymore. I quietly stood up from my desk and quit on the spot. I had never walked out on a job before. Took me a month to find another job with just slightly less hours, so a little less money. But it was worth it because I'm a lot better mentally and physically, and I like the job. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Worked the call center job after 1 week of training and 2 days of actual work. During the training you're shown how it's not possible to order a free trial of these expensive products without seeing the clearly marked, in multiple locations, terms and conditions. But then I got to the floor and these people were old people who were offered a free gift when they bought something on Amazon. They never went to a website and ordered a free trial. They were lied to and then charged $80 3 weeks later. It was a scam built to prey on old people. I had a panic attack on the way to work and quick when I arrived. Fuck that noise. Edit. I missed the part asking how it turned out, sorry. I was a new mom and we were really hurting for money. That was my first job after having my son and we had to beg money off relatives to stay afloat another month, until I found a new job which was much better. I was able to be hired as a substitute for a school district and, a month later, get rehired by the same district as a teacher's aide. Now I'm about to finish my certification and become a teacher. Left my job of 15 years with nothing lined up because it was gaining me nothing anymore, aside from being overused for my job knowledge with no reward. Took a month off, found another job that pays me more per hour than my last after I got promoted to supervisor after putting in 5 months. Couldn't be happier. I quit after an argument with my boss because I didn't agree with how he did things. Within 2 months I started my own company doing what he did but the way I thought it should be done. I am still running that business and he shut his down 3 years ago. I got bored of my life in the UK and sick of my job, so I quit and got a one-way ticket to Australia to start a new life. I quit my job of a year and a half out of anger and spite for my manager, and because of my quickly declining mental health. While it helped at first, the anxiety of not having a steady source of income took a much larger toll on me than anticipated, and I really didn't get to focus on my recovery/therapy for my mental health until I had secured a new job to quell my anxieties. Yes, I quit a very high-paying job, in fact. I was a software engineer. It was great at first. I liked my coworkers, and the company was one of those startups that had a ping pong table and a cold brew coffee on tap and all that jazz. It was my first job out of college and I was dazzled by the cool community feel and all the amenities. However, they had no system in place to train me. I was basically expected to just read a codebase and just instantly know exactly what to do. My team leader couldn't answer my questions and I quickly started drowning in work. My once recreational drug use turned habitual. I was railing lines of coke in the bathroom to stay awake because I stayed up until 9 p.m. trying to finish projects by the deadline and doing benzos at night to fall asleep. Once I finally started performing well, that only reinforced my terrible habits. I thought that if I stopped self-medicating, I would fall behind and they would fire me. I cried every day. I was also the only female employee on the software team, and I got these paranoid thoughts in my head that my male coworkers didn't really like me. In retrospect, I'm sure my alienation was totally my fault and the result of my anxiety. I didn't even like the programming anymore. When I was in college, I interned with people who were using software to help charities, uncover bogus statistics, and generally lift up communities. My job was nothing like that. The people there acted like they were curing cancer, but the majority of what we did boiled down to helping huge companies build training platforms that were more hip and cool. So I quit. Not just that job, but the whole field. I had started abusing harder drugs as well, and I knew I was going to end up killing myself. I went to rehab, and then I went back to school and got my master's degree in education with a focus in mathematics. I'm a private tutor and a substitute teacher now. I hope to get my PhD one day, but for now I am happy helping young people realize their dreams. I set my own schedule so that I'm able to pursue my passions. Volunteering at a children's hospital tutoring sick kids that need to miss school, and helping young women from local bather shelters and homeless shelters learn graphic design and programming, so that they can have valuable marketable job skills. I'm 2 years clean from drugs and I have the most wonderful friends and the perfect kitty. I am so happy I quit my job, even though people thought I was insane from leaving the tech field. And I'm sure my mom's friends talk shit about me behind her back. I'm glad I didn't pay them any mind. I quit a job working as a logistics manager for a hospital. It was the worst job I ever had. The union reps would constantly mess with you, taunting you and try to get you fired. I was constantly on edge and would basically snap over everything. I developed a huge persecution complex where everyone was out to get me. They would purposely feed you false information that would go against required practices. For example, one of the reps gave me a fake forecast for products we needed for the upcoming week, so I was to arrange the delivery/ordering and storing for the products. When I ordered it all and had it delivered, I found out we needed 1/10 of the products that was ordered, so I had to explain to the finance department why we exceeded our weekly budget. Basically, my choices were to be fired or quit because of the colossal fucked up. I was 21 at the time. I'm now in school to get my bachelor's of accounting, so I guess it turned out pretty good because I could leave that horrible industry. Yes, 10 years ago I was in a bad relationship and struggling with chronic anxiety and depression. My long, stressful commute and job I hated just added to my stress. One day I got a migraine and went home early, while my boss was at lunch. The next day she requested a meeting, and before the meeting was to take place, I sent her an email with my resignation. My anxiety took over and I just couldn't face whatever it was she was planning to say to me. It turned out badly. My dad was extremely angry and said some pretty cruel shit. My relationship with him was never been the same since, and probably never will. My boyfriend dumped me a couple months later and kicked me out of our house. I had to move back in with my parents at age 30 and wasn't able to find another job for 11 months. When I finally did start working again, I had a string of more horrible jobs that I hated. My career still hasn't recovered and probably never will. Without some stroke of dumb luck, I'll probably be working underpaid, somewhat crap jobs until I die. My mental health has improved a lot though, so I got that going for me, which is nice. I fell further into depression, developed a drinking problem, spent all my savings and didn't work for nearly 2 years. Yeah, not doing that again.